What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Faiska.
What's going on? It's your boy, William Taylor, CEO of New Wave Coaching.
And Tyler Wellness here. Welcome back, guys.
And welcome to Fill Your Cup Podcast. What up with y'all, man? Y'all chilling?
Oh, yeah, we good, man.
Y'all good? Y'all good?
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good today.
Yeah, it's nice out where we at. Let's go ahead and pour it up real quick.
Pull it up,
We're about to do the honors.
Oh, yeah, got y'all, man.
Appreciate it, Will.
Man, I'm about to make a store run today. I'm excited. I'm about to get some milk thistle. What else am I? Some black walnut. Definitely some more ginger. Burdock. I'm gonna have a budget of probably like $20, $25 today. Get some more tea leaves.
Ballin', bro.
Yes, balling with the tea leaves today. I think it's time to mix it up. I definitely need some milk thistle. I've been trying to get that for a while. So, I gotta get some more elderberry too. But yeah, fellas, let's go ahead and set the ritual.
Setting that ritual.
The ritual.
Yeah.
The Illuminati ritual.
Oh, my God.
What is
Don't
our
get
intention
Don't
today?
get us banned, man.
Yeah. What is our
Not to get
intention?
banned.
The intention is to have, of course, a successful podcast, but most importantly, the theme of today is changing your thoughts.
Yes.
Man, can y'all guess what that is?
Earthy, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all gotta know. Come on.
Tastes like mushrooms almost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it definitely has that mushroom-like flavor.
This is not the marshmallow one.
Nope.
Right? No.
Marshmallow root is a little more bitter, I think.
Yeah.
Sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, we had some sarsaparilla. So I was on my breath work today, and I got a couple of challenges I'll talk to you guys about. But anyways, she was talking about, shout out to Casey Budd from she has a YouTube channel and Instagram. I had shout her out on Instagram today, but she's an amazing person. Definitely has a lot to offer to the world, and I just love her energy. But anyway, she was talking about sarsaparilla. She takes that in the morning, but she combines it with other herbs and stuff. So I was like, let me get back on my sarsaparilla because I gotta let my body heal. And definitely, I would say when you start your morning off with breath work, you don't feel like you need to eat. Like you don't. I'm not hungry whatsoever, and I already did my breath work and I did some mobility. Mobility takes a while, but anyways,
Have you ever heard of breatharians, bro?
Yeah, breatharianism. I've been familiar with that for a while. But like she says too, we're all breatharian. And people be like, no, we're not. No, we're all breatharian. We all live by the breath. And every time you're doing something, you're breathing. So it's just being conscious of that breathing, which is being present, which is important. But I heard of people like taking to the next level, like not eating for this, not drinking
Not
this
eating,
and that.
right?
Like,
They don't
yeah.
get to eat.
Yeah. I heard about that. I know you could go. I know Casey. I know I've read or watched the videos where she talked about that. Her brother, I've been following him for like since I was like 19, 20. And so he's been on the same thing. But he talks about that as well. So it's an interesting subject matter. But
Can you briefly explain breatharian?
yeah, so breatharian is basically the process in which you live off prana. Prana is air, which is like a Sanskrit term from India. And so I think pranayama is basically, I forgot how to explain that. But I'm not going to get too deep into the prana and pranayama. Prana is air. It's what we live off of, right? And so breatharians, they essentially don't eat. They don't drink anything. They just live off air. Essentially, they're living like plants. Photosynthesis, getting energy from sunlight or whatnot. It's very interesting. Breatharianism definitely has its is more I want to say omnipresent, but a lot more. It's more ubiquitous now because back then it was just like whoa. Now it's just like with social media, it's been more exposed now in a sense of like people are starting to understand it more. But it's an interesting thing. Definitely, we're all breatharians, as I said before, but fasting, breathing is important concepts, important practices for the human body because even animals naturally, they fast when they're sick. And breathing in and slowing things down is going to change your life, as I always say. So, yeah, we had to do a separate podcast about breatharianism, actually, and talking about breathing practices and stuff like that. And I'll talk about the challenges I have for you guys throughout the podcast. Well, at the end of the podcast. But anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about reprogramming your thoughts, changing your ways, the thought patterns that you might have. Fellas, I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to pass this over. So go ahead and Will, just take it from here, man, and just talk about reprogramming your thoughts and whatnot.
All right, so reprogramming your thoughts, reprogramming your subconscious mind, man. It's it's a really big thought, and it's a really big idea. And I think it's an idea that a lot of people don't really think about, because a lot of people don't spend time thinking about their thoughts necessarily. But I guess to say how you would kind of start is to you just have to realize and you have to go in and understand what you're thinking about, and understand why you're thinking about certain things, your thoughts, and your thought patterns. You're not really born with your thought patterns, but more or less they're kind of handed down to you um, through like your elders or whoever it may be who's kind of like teaching you as you're growing up. Say for example, just an example, maybe if I were to grow up in a family that was just like fat people, overweight, poor health habits, whatever the case may be, and maybe I'm always hearing things like, oh, like, you know, heart disease runs in our family, and we're just big bone. That's just the way we are, and like, so that's just something that's gonna be in my subconscious mind, and it's just gonna be kind of I'm gonna think thoughts like that. And whenever I maybe people are like, "Oh, you should try to get in shape," I'll be like, "Oh, well, that thought's just gonna come into my mind. Well, I'm big bone. I've always been this way, or my family. We're just prone to be like this. It runs in our family and stuff like this. So you just gotta realize and just understand that those thoughts, they can create your reality, because if you truly believe that, then that's what's gonna be your reality for you. You're just gonna continue to go through life, and you're gonna continue to think that way. But as soon as you can kind of go in there and start to understand where those thoughts come from, like maybe that was just your mom or your dad telling you those things. Maybe it was coming from their mom and their dad telling you those same things to them. So just kind of going in there, questioning those thoughts, and then kind of coming up with new thoughts to reprogram your mind.
Go ahead, Tyler.
All right. Hey, are you guys ready to get a little mystical?
Tyler is really good with this stuff. He knows
Always.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, like I love like anything to do with the mind right now. I do think I spend a lot of time thinking about my thoughts, and really just the nature of them. For say like, why did I think about a certain situation in a certain light? Why did I even look through a certain lens? Right? If you're walking through a store and you start to recognize certain items, why are you recognizing certain items? It's because of your choice of food. The type of food that you eat, you're gonna look at certain things. It's gonna be highlighted in your, in your focus. And so, the things that Will was talking about was, as we start to focus on things, as we start to like believe in a certain story that we're telling ourselves as we're navigating our life, I'm bad at this, I'm good at this, etc. You're going to highlight things that justify your thinking. Did you shoot that basket and make it? I'm good at this. I'm good at basketball. Did you fumble? I'm bad at this. I'm not good. Did someone tell you you're not good? It justifies that thought, right? And every time you think those things, you're re-justifying and reprogramming that into your mind. You can start to actively think those thoughts, but then switch it. Be like, oh, actually, that thought does not correlate with the identity that I want to be. I want to be someone who is, I am an athlete. I am working at becoming better at this. And so I'm not bad at this. I'm working at getting better, and I am becoming better. And you start to just say these little things, and you do these things mentally in your mind, and it starts to re-motivate you when you don't feel motivated. It's how you become self-motivated and self-driven. And these small little mind hacks, I guess, if you will literally start to change your life. You're going to recognize when people say certain things, you're going to go down certain thought patterns. Maybe it's a negative thought spiral that then makes you not feel good, and you're going to recognize that maybe certain circles make you feel that way. If you feel that certain way, you tend to maybe do bad habits. Maybe you eat bad, and then you gain weight, and then those trigger you to think that you're not good enough again, etc. And these loops happen. And when you're aware of them, you can change them. You can cut the people out that make you feel those ways. You can stop the actions that you start to do, and you have so much control once you start to just understand your thinking.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Before I go ahead and go ahead and give my take on it is basically pranayama is the regulation of the breath. So you think about it, prana is air, pranayama is the regulation of that air or that breath. So start definitely practicing with your pranayama. Get your breath work because it's gonna change everything about you. But yeah, as far as reprogramming your thoughts, changing those thought patterns, it's critical. We were told that uh, certain things. We were told pretty much society they pressure us. We allow them to pressure us into thinking a certain way. I always refer back to the Tao, and the Tao is like my Bible. For people who don't know, it's the Tao Te Ching, or Tao Te Ching, however you want to say it. But basically, it talks about, I think in chapter 2, the name that cannot be named is not the eternal name. And so I always take that and say, yes, very true, because we all give names to different things, we categorize things, and we put limitations on people. And that right there is how you really control a person, essentially. I know throughout my life journey, I've been told this is how I should think, and I program myself, and then I had to unprogram it, then reprogram into who I am now, and I'm still going through that cycle. And so once you start to change those thoughts about yourself, about the whole world, things will begin to change around you. You'll realize that God potential, that God is you. You are God, and God is within you. And they say God made you in his own image, then yes, that's what you are. You are just on this 3D plane, and you are you say you're a demigod. So you're manifesting all these thoughts and all these different things into the world, and you're creating that reality. So it's critical that you guys understand your thoughts, and you reprogram your thoughts in the sense of go to your highest thought. We always go to the most lowest thought of ourselves, and we shouldn't do that. And that's why we're in the conditions that we're in. You have to go to the highest thought of yourself. Operate out of that highest thought, and you will begin to see everything unfold, as the Tao always says. Watch everything unfold. So with that, reprogram your thoughts and whatnot, fellas. Tell us about a time that you had to really reprogram your mind. Tell us about, how was it like? Who was the person you were before, that fearful and uncertain person, versus the person you are now that is very certain, that's confident? Tell me about that story.
Time that I had to reprogram my subconscious mind. I could say one time, but I'd have to say probably be like my first year playing football, man. First year playing football, I was pretty weak, man. I was just kind of a chump. I didn't know exactly what to do out there. We were just hitting each other and getting hit and all this type of stuff. And I remember one of the coaches, or one of the kids that comes up to me, says, "You're either gonna get hit or you're gonna be the hitter." And then once I realized that, I was like, man, I got to stop getting hit. I got to start being the hitter, so that I don't get hit. So once I had that realization, that kind of stopped me from going out there and just getting knocked around. And that kind of made me like, okay, what am I going to do? I got to make the choice to get hit or be the hitter. You know what? I'm going to be the hitter. And then I go out there and I just start hitting people. So that was just one time that I can say I had to change my thoughts going into it, rather than like, oh man, this is kind of scary, or like, man, I'm gonna get hit. I had to kind of change my mind to, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, let's hit some people, and kind of throw a little bit more of a positive spin on it. Like, yes, I am good at this. Yes, I can hit the people, and they'll understand that it's gonna hurt them. So, that's just one brief experience that I can say. I had to change my mindset about just how I was going about things, and that kind of changed, what I was doing.
All right. So one more time, want to just refresh me on what the question was, my story specifically?
Yeah, tell us about your story, that the moment in your life where you began to transition into who you are now, that uncertain person becoming a certain person.
Yeah. What's really interesting is I can kind of see it because I started to post more on my social media and everything. And so occasionally my social media will show me like my old stuff in my timeline, like, hey, look what you were doing, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I was like, oh, dang. Okay, that was motivational or whatever. So realistically, it was like I was starting to get into the world of self-development and just like learning things. Will had gave me the book Think and Grow Rich, read that. And it started to like reignite my my own just thinking and what I could do for myself. And what started to happen was I realized that, it is my thoughts and my thinking that was always the governor of my life. If I did believe that I could do a thing, I would go and do that thing. If I did not believe in myself, I wouldn't even attempt it. And if I also didn't believe it was possible, I might attempt, but then I would fail because I would hold myself back from doing the thing that would make it like maybe quote unsafe to like push that boundary or whatever, but that's a mental boundary that you set for yourself, right? And once we recognize those, we can change our lives. But yeah, essentially, like through those small actions and recognizing those things in my life, that's how I became, more confident in myself and recognizing, oh, I can, through recognizing where I feel a certain way, through feelings and emotions, right? That means there's a certain thought that I have about that thing or a subject. And if I explore that, I can reprogram it and go back through and be like, okay, so I think this way because of a past event. That past event is not this current one. And this current one is where I have to be present and just focus my energy. One question I do want to ask you guys, though, to help our listeners out here is, do you guys have any tips on how you can help them reprogram their mind?
The best tip, I'm a simple person, man. And simplicity is the key to life, I would say. To really reprogram your mind, go see a reflection in still water. Once you see it in still water, don't run away from those thoughts. Don't drown it with any type of alcohol, any type of drugs, relationships, or whatnot. Fight that battle. And once you win that battle, because you will win, boom, that's when your whole transformation process begins. So don't run away from your problems, tackle them head on, and everything will change. And that's what I have to do with my life, and that's what I recommend everyone to do. See reflection in still water.
Okay, so some tips on how to reprogram your mind. Like Spencer, I'm gonna keep it simple, man. Simple but not easy, So what you can do is grab like a sheet of paper, and on one side you just write a line or draw a line straight down the middle of that paper, and on one side you're gonna put thoughts that I think, and on the other side you're gonna put thoughts that I want to think, or thoughts that you want to change. You want to change, and you notice the thoughts that you're thinking currently. You want to think different thoughts. So on that left side of that paper, you're gonna write thoughts that I currently think. Whether it be like, oh, like I'm unconfident, or I'm fat, or I'm out of shape, or I get nervous, or whatever it is. Put those thoughts down on that one side of paper there. And then on the other side of the paper, you're gonna write thoughts that you want to think. So maybe I'm unconfident can be turned into I am confident and I believe in myself. And maybe I'm fat can be turned into I'm healthy and I'm getting in better shape every single day. And maybe I'm nervous can be I'm not nervous, or something like this, something along this line. You can come up with that, whatever you want to create, and whatever that thought that you want to um, whatever that thought is that you want to think. And then just throughout your day, I suggest you keep this piece of paper with you, and come through and read this multiple times, maybe once each day in the morning when you wake up, because if you just go through this practice and you just do it once, it's not going to serve you more than just a couple hours. But the thing is, you have to constantly repeat this thing, because our thoughts is very powerful, and these thoughts, they didn't just come, and these habits didn't just come to you over just you thinking it one time, but rather it's probably a series of you thinking these thoughts, or maybe your parents constantly telling you things, or your friends constantly telling you things. So the key to reprogramming your mind, if your mind was programmed through repetition, it can also be reprogrammed through repetition. So taking that practice, doing that maybe once a day, maybe twice a day, maybe once in the morning when you first wake up, maybe once at night before you go to sleep, and just kind of refocusing your mind on those thoughts that you want to think. And I say that's a pretty good tip there. You can also look into a little bit of Joe Dispenza. He's a little bit of a neuroscientist. He does a lot of things with the mind, a lot of things with neuro or mindset reprogramming, this type of thing. He's got books out there, really good reads. I suggest you guys read them. But yeah, those are a couple tips that I could suggest that you guys can do to start reprogramming your mind.
All right. Hey, thanks for those tips, guys. I'm gonna give you guys my tips as well, for listeners out here, how you can reprogram your mind, and I'm gonna give you guys a spin on it too, because earlier Spencer mentioned that a lot of us, we set up boundaries based off of fear, right? And the thing is, we don't recognize that we're not. We set up boundaries based off fear, but people control us based off of our fears, right? And they do so by setting up boundaries and stuff. And you recognize that you program your mind by asking questions and getting responses. So if you if you're being programmed by fear, you're asking questions and getting a negative response. So you're maybe asking, "Hey, why can't I go do this certain thing?" And the authority figures are telling you simply because someone else blank reason why. They'll take certain things away from you. They won't let you do certain things or insert negative reason, right? You might be young, you don't even know what that negative thing is, but they can associate what is negative to you at that moment to what could be a potential threat that they're trying to say. And so when your mind associates the action with the possible quote unquote reward, but in that case the punishment that could happen afterwards, you're going to have that fear embedded in you, and it actually carries throughout your entire life with that. Like, simply because it could be small little things like asking a certain person a question and then them lashing out in a certain way, not recognizing that it was because of what was going on in their life and they didn't mean to do it in that aspect, but maybe it took you in that moment some courage to do so. And so for you, it wasn't just an event of asking that person. It was an event of, building up your self courage, trying that thing, and then getting like brutally crushed, right? And so that's programming your mind. And as you start to recognize that, you can ask yourself questions. When have I been, experienced trauma like that in the past? Or what events, or who do I want to become like? And what questions can I ask to like become that person? Like, what fears do I have? What do I want to do with my life? Questions are the quality of your life, I'm telling you.
And yeah, to like really expound on that a little bit more. Um, it's just our whole process of growth, our whole the embodiment of greatness that we already are. It's been stifled, and it's purposely stifled because the powers that be, or the powers quote unquote that be, they want to keep us at this realm of thinking. That's why they push a lot of the stuff that they push. They want to entertain your mind. When you break down entertainment, ment is always the etymological root of ment is your mind. So entertainment. What other forms of ment are there? There's so many different ones. So it's just like they're essentially controlling your mind. And so once you begin to understand the way this whole this plane of existence works, you're gonna realize like, damn, I can do whatever I want to do out here. Nas always says, "This whose world is this? The world is yours." And it's just like dropping jewels back in the '90s, man. That's what I love about the '90s in terms of music. Even the music now, you have those artists that still put out good vibes out there. But guys, once you start to begin that the world is yours, and stop trying to bend, or not bend, because it's okay to bend, just don't break from other people's will, or you got to break from their control, man. And once you begin to liberate yourself and really realize your full potential, that godlike potential is gonna just manifest, man. Because I can't say it so much. I can say it so many times. We're all gods. That's why I love the nation, the 5%ers, because we are all gods. They say women are earths and whatnot, but for me, we all gods on this plane, on this 3D plane. We are made in the image of the highest source, the Creator. So, with that though, guys, I really hope you guys were able to take something away from reprogramming your thoughts. It starts with you, and go and just reflect on yourself, and don't be afraid to reflect. I know, like Will said earlier, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, and but out of all hardships emerges a stronger and more endured person. So, guys, keep pushing to be the best versions of yourselves. And with that, we're going to get ready to go ahead and close out. But before we do, anything else you guys want to add?
Will,
No, man. Go in there and do some work on yourself, man, and dive into those thoughts, man. Don't be afraid to spend a little bit of time by yourself thinking about yourself, man.
Yeah, one thing that that sparked when Spence was talking a moment ago, he had said bend, right? And what sparked through my mind was Bruce Lee saying, be formless like water. Think about even the Matrix, like the spoon. There is no spoon. Bend the space around the spoon, etc. If you can be quote unquote formless, right? You bend to what's going on around you, but you still exist, right? You still have your essence, but you don't allow what's happening around you to break you. You just kind of still coexist with whatever's happening. That's how you should be.
Take on that form like water. Water is the essence of everything. But with that though, guys, I want to go ahead and just tell you guys about the challenges I have. Well, the two challenges. First off, it's 300 push-ups a day challenge. You don't have to do 300 push-ups a day.
That's where Tyler got it from.
Yeah. So yeah, Tyler told you I was gonna tell you too. But yeah, 300 push-ups a day. I think I'm on day 3. I can't remember. I think I'm on day 3. Yeah. So and then I'm doing I posted on my Instagram today. Breath work for 30 days. At the most, you could do 3 cycles of breath. But if you want to do more, you could do more. I did 5 this morning. And so basically, I had put it in my story, and I also put it in the description below for you guys to check out different YouTubers that talk about it. But yeah, just waking up, breathing before you eat or drink anything. Do some breath work, then proceed with your day. But yeah, 3 cycles of breath work a day for 30 days and 300 push-ups a day for 30 days. So that's the challenges I have for you guys, and I guarantee it will change your scope of things. But yeah, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out the podcast. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, I hope you guys took some jewels away from it. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Break it down, fellas. Break it down to them.
Yo, it's your boy, William O. Taylor, CEO of New Wave Coaching. You can't surf the waves. Wait, you can't change the waves, but you can learn to surf.
Yeah, and Tyler Wellness here, helping open-minded individuals who are ready to make themselves a priority and turn their talents to income in the Talent to Income Academy. See you guys next time.
All right, y'all, and it's your boy Spence Crosby, a.k.a. Faisiga. I'm out. I see you guys, or you guys will hear from us next week. Peace. Ashe.